Hey Aquarius, thanks for checking out your weekly forecast for April 25th through May 1st. This is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, and Rising. You might stumble upon this video after the time frame I mentioned. That's fine. You're going to see it whenever you were meant to see it. Whenever it was time for you to hear the messages that are in it. Keep in mind this is a general reading for the Aquarius Collective. Not every single message will resonate, so take the ones that do and leave the ones that don't. So without further ado, Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising, let's see what's coming up for you guys in the week ahead. We're going to move these cards, not the cards, but the camera here just a little bit closer. First card coming up for Aquarius is the King of Swords, and it's you in your beautiful air sign energy. Because we have the King of Swords here, this could also indicate that maybe some of you are stepping into your masculine energy this week. So this could be action, planning, strategy. King of Swords also can come up in a few different ways in the reading. It can be telling us that we are coming into a time where it's important for us to get some guidance and some counsel from an expert. Okay, if you're doing something here in terms of building or creating something, whether you're building something physical, maybe some of you are building something on your property because you want to do business out of there or rent it out, or you're adding on to your home or doing some kind of remodeling. You may want to make sure that you have the right permits in place, that you have the right uh, approvals or inspections that need to be done, because it can be a big headache for you later if you don't. If you're doing something in terms of business, you might want to really make sure you have the right contracts in place, that you have the right waivers, that you have the right forms, and that things are being done within procedure, within protocol. Okay, so for some of you, this is a time to look into, documents, contracts, permits, licenses, waivers, things of that nature. I also feel here that there could be something coming in for you in terms of assistance or help. That shield is jumping out at me as if it's like a coin, like a big coin. So this might come into getting some advice from an expert or somebody who has, done the things that we're trying to do. Some of you Aquarius might be eligible for some kind of grant or assistance or funding, and you need to seek out counseling for that. I'm also hearing debt consolidation. Some of you may be looking into debt consolidation or meeting with a financial planner who's going to help you with those things and help you feel a more sense of abundance here, because that shield looks like a giant coin to me. King of Swords is also the master of negotiation. He's really, really good at finding the win-win in a situation. He's really good at finding a win-win solution. And sometimes the King of Swords comes up in my readings when you may be preparing to, I don't know if I want to say confront, but approach someone. Like maybe you feel like you want to go and talk to your boss and tell them that you need to be promoted, or you have an idea for things to be improved at work and they need to listen to you and they need to implement your idea. Or maybe you're wanting to confront a spouse or someone in your family about changes you feel that need to be made. And the King of Swords reminds us that an emotional argument is a failed argument. Don't go in here with emotions. Don't go in here with, this is so unfair. This is so unfair. You need to do this because I work so hard and I deserve it, and it just really sucks that everything is on my back. And you're right. Don't get me wrong, Aquarius. You're right to feel that way. Unfortunately, human nature being what it is, people hear that and they get all defensive, right? They're not even listening to the solution at this point. They're taking it as like, oh, well, you're saying I'm a bad person, so now I have to defend myself. So the King of Swords comes in to say that the key to your success in this situation is going to be that when you present this situation, this idea, this request, you want to present it in a way where you're showing this person what's in it for them, how it's going to benefit them. And once you can do that, they're going to be on the same page. It's not going to take so much convincing. You just need to show them how this is going to be good for them, what's in it for them. And that is the quickest way to resolve a situation or to have somebody agree to do something your way. When you can show them and explain to them how your way is going to benefit them. Problem solved, case closed. We don't have to go back and forth. We don't have to bicker. We don't have to argue. So approaching it in this way can make a big difference for a lot of you. Next card that's coming up here is the Three of Wands. And so there could be something here for you in terms of collaboration, collaborating with others. Three of Wands is oftentimes seen as a self-employment card. So you may be preparing to launch a product or an idea. You may be preparing to expand or put something out there. Three of Wands also comes up when we're at the point of no return, right? We can't unsee what we've seen. We can't go back into the box, and we've come way too far to give up and turn around and go back at this point. We need to continue to move forward. I do feel like some of you are finding yourself in a situation here with the Three of Wands where you're having to expand. I feel some of you have been trying to do something very quietly or very under the table, or you are currently trying to do something very quietly or very under the table, but it may expand so much to where you can't hide it. It's not something that you can just kind of, oh, cash only, tuck it away. It's expanding too much to be hidden. And then this is reinforcing that whole thing with contracts, permits. Some of you need to go and file a corporation or an LLC or some kind of company. Like you need to have it official or on the books. It's getting to the point where you can't cover it up anymore. You can't act like it doesn't exist. So I feel here a sense with the Three of Wands coming up with the King of Swords that something needs to be made official at this time. Something needs to be established and made official. The next card that's coming up here for Aquarius is the Seven of Wands. So we've got all this fire energy. This is going to be ambition, passion, drive. Can also be seen as success. Now, the Seven of Wands can come up to say that this is not the time right now to change the procedure or the recipe, so to speak. This is not the time to do things extra. You're in a good place. You've got some good ground here. And you're being asked to continue doing what you're doing. This is not the time to say, oh, well, things are going well. Let me try to make it better. And it doesn't end up being better. This might be a poor example, but I feel it's the most common one. You either wear mascara or people who do. And sometimes with mascara, it looks really, really good. And you're like, let me just put on another coat. Let me just put on another coat. Just a little fuller, just a little longer. And then it's a fine line between that coat of perfection to where you get the lashes all clumpy and they're sticking together. And you've got chunks of gooey, gunky mascara liquid on your lashes. So either you've had that happen to you or you've seen people like that and you're like, holy cannoli, like what happened to your eyelashes? sometimes we want to just do a little bit more, just a little bit more to make it perfect, or a little bit more to give it that extra oomph or that extra pop, and we end up doing too much. And it has the opposite effect of what we wanted. And so, Seven of Wands for me sometimes comes up and says, look, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. This is not the time to be extra. This is not the time to make a lot of changes to something. Stick with the plan or stick with what's working. Seven of Wands can also come up when you have a lot of people that are trying to give you advice or telling you how to make something better or how to change something. And Seven of Wands is saying, stand your ground, stay your course. It could also be that you have people trying to discourage you or like put poison in your ear. Don't worry about arguing with them or trying to convince them. Put your time and energy where it counts and where it's going to benefit you. Because these are not people who are trying to have a sincere discussion with you or to understand where you're coming from. They just kind of want to insist on their way because their way is going to benefit them. So don't fall into that trap and don't waste time with those kinds of people. One more thing I want to say and then we'll move on. Sometimes I see the Seven of Wands come up because you have people around you that want to, they feel threatened by you. They feel threatened by you. They feel like there's not enough success or love or praise to go around. And they see you as somebody who is shining right now, and that threatens them. Because if you're shining, then that means that nobody's going to see them in their mind, right? That's what they're thinking in their mind. So you might have people that are doing passive-aggressive things to try to irritate you or try to upset you because the goal is to get you to go off. And the second you go off, they're like, oh, can you believe what Aquarius said to me? Can you believe what Aquarius did to me? Oh, Aquarius, I told you Aquarius was unstable. I told you Aquarius had a temper. I told you Aquarius was mean. So, if that is the case, just be careful, be cautious of that, and don't engage with these kinds of people. Give yourself permission to walk away instead of allowing them to do these little things where they're poking, and the pressure is building. Okay, because their goal is to be able to point the finger and say, look, I told you they were mean. I told you they were unhinged. And you can avoid that entirely. The next card that's coming up for Aquarius is the Ten of Cups. And Ten of Cups is oftentimes typecast as a card that means marriage and babies. Now, don't get me wrong. For some of you, Ten of Cups absolutely means marriage and babies. Some of you may be working out something in your career to better your current marriage and babies. But the deeper meaning of the Ten of Cups is emotional, physical, mental, spiritual satisfaction. Satisfaction in every way there is to be satisfied, and inner peace. It's a card having to do with inner peace. It's your happily ever after. And guess what? We all have different happily ever afters. For some of you, it's marriage and babies. Some of you are past that stage in your life. You already did marriage and babies, and your babies grew up and had their own babies. And you're like, okay, what now? What's next? So our happily ever after, or our happy ending, is going to look different for different ones of us, right? Some of you, it could be going and living off the grid. Some of you, it could be, traveling. Some of you, it could be reconnecting with a significant soulmate that the timing wasn't right, back in the day, whatever it might be. But we are going to have different happy endings. We're all going to have, something different that gives us a sense of satisfaction and peace. But the Ten of Cups comes up to tell us that whatever that might be for you, you're manifesting it. You're calling it in, and it's coming to you. And it's happiness in every area of your life. Where maybe in the past, Aquarius, you felt like, well, you can't have it all. If work life is great, then personal life is going to suck. If personal life is great, then work life is going to suck. And the Ten of Cups is saying, nope, that's not true at all. You can have happiness and satisfaction and fulfillment in every area of your life. You don't have to pick and choose. Okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks your moon sign or rising sign might resonate more for you than your sun sign. You may need a private reading, which I'm more than happy to do for you. If you click on the link in the description of this video, it will take you to calendly.com/amethystangelite, and you can schedule a private reading with me there. You may also check out the love readings for April that are linked in the description of this video. Love readings for May are posted. I just haven't linked them yet because we're not in May yet. But if you click on the video tab on my channel, it will take you to all the videos and you'll see the May love readings. Don't forget to check out the weekly forecasts that I post the daily card of the day, I meant to say. I've been posting a daily message every single day, so don't forget to check those out as well. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Take care, Aquarius.